Hello everyone, welcome to Daily Current Affairs Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy. Today we will be seeing the current affairs for the date of 31st of October. So before we start, please subscribe to our channel for regular updates. And these are the topics which we will be seeing today for discussion. The first one is regarding the graduate employability crisis in India, which will be seeing the causes for it and also the solutions for it. That is both from the academic and the industry side. Second is the regulatory scrutiny of the ethanol. Third topic is regarding the carbon footprint. We'll see its definition, how the carbon footprint is measured, the causes of it. And the fourth topic is regarding the AI awareness survey. This topic includes the data points which can be used for the mains and also the implications of it. And the fifth topic is the Prelims Focus. These are the short notes which will be helpful for both prelims as well as mains. We'll get into the discussion. We'll start today's discussion with the topic of graduate employability crisis in India. It's a very good diagram and it also shows about the mistakes. So mistakes are the stepping stones to success. So we'll get into this article. So only about 42.6% of graduates in India are employable. It's a sign of a deep structural problem. The employability is not equal to employment. Employability means possessing skills, adaptability, and professional mindset. So the disconnect between academia and industry leaves graduates underprepared for real world jobs. This is a brief overview of it. So we'll see the roots of divide. First one, we'll see the academic challenges. First is the outdated curriculum. So the curriculum is outdated. That is, the changes in the real world are rapid, but the curriculum change is not as fast as is required to be. It's true that we cannot have a curriculum update every 6 months or every 1 year, but still the curriculum updation is not as frequent as is supposed to be. Second one is the theory heavy learning. This has its roots from the school learning itself. We generally focus upon the rote learning and assessment with regard to it. For example, in engineering itself, we have assignments based on just writing what is mentioned in the textbook rather than problem solving or case studies of the real world problems. Third aspect is the lack of soft skills. The soft skills include the communication, teamwork, leadership ability, uh, problem solving approaches, etc. So there are few less importance is given by the educational institutions with regard to cultivating these skills in the students. Another aspect is the faculty and infrastructure gaps. So we have seen the issues of ghost faculties in the college and universities. There is also lack of infrastructure such as lack of good quality labs, etc. Now we'll see the challenges with regard to the industry itself. First aspect is the expectation of the industry of job ready graduates, but their limited willingness to train. So the issue is that the tech changes rapidly, which makes the knowledge obsolete fast. So the industry people expect the students to be job ready, in spite of the fact that tech is changing at the fast pace, and they need to train. So their side of work, that is their willingness to train, they are not focusing on it, but only focus on job ready students. Then a weak academic industry collaboration and underinvestment in skill building is the biggest issue. That is from the industry side. Now, having seen that, we will see what the academia can learn from the industry. First is the real world integration. So instead of just giving them rote learning and just teaching what is there in the textbook, the institutions can ask or can teach about real world problems and their solution. They can take real world case studies and how what can be done, etc. For example, there's a recent case studies you can include about the railway accidents. So what is the issue, what are the possible solutions that can be done? These are the possible things. Second is focus on adaptability. So things outside the academic circle are changing at a faster pace. So they should also need to teach about adapting to the newer realities. For example, AI. AI is dynamically changing the world. The institutions must able to teach and to make the students learn about this rapid changes. Third is the continuous feedback. This you can take it as the faculties who are teaching, they are taking sabbatical leaves, going working in the industry for few months. Again, with their updated learning, they're coming back to the colleges and teaching their updated learnings to the students. So this will keep a feedback loop between the faculties and the requirements of the demands of the industries. Fourth one is the structured internships. So this is one of the important things the students should be given before even before the job placements itself, internship opportunities so that they can work on real world projects. They can learn about the updated technologies which are being used in the industries. So this will also aim to bridge their skill gaps. Next one is the stronger placement cell. This is an important aspect. The placement cells in the college need not just need to be an employment exchange, but they need to focus on inculcating soft skills for the students, having a close tie-up with the industries in aspects of getting to know what they require and what the requirement are they matching with the academic syllabus, and if they are not matching, then how it can be updated so that the students can be made more employable. Next aspect is about the industry, what the industry can learn from the academia. First is the investment in the early career mentoring and onboarding. So industries in just not just about expecting the job ready students, should also invest on their early career training. They can also take certain steps. For example, usually in engineering colleges, the placement is done during the fourth year. So instead of doing placement in the fourth year, they can come for placement opportunities in the third year itself. In the fourth year, they can give the students a possibility of internship opportunities, a paid internship opportunities, and then they can, based on their performance, they can uh, recruit them after their fourth year performance. So this is one possible way. Next is a co-designing curriculum with the academic partners. The industry experts can design and also get inputs regarding the curriculum or the syllabus with the university faculties. Another aspect is building learning ecosystem. They can the industries can sponsor labs, can also give, for example, conduct the innovation challenges such as the hackathons which are conducted by the Niti Aayog, etc. These can be conducted by the industries itself, and they can also even conduct workshops. Next is the internal coordination, feedback between the hiring, training, and business units. So these three units are of industries. Many times these three departments work in silos. There needs to be a continuous feedback between these three units so that they can gauge what is the requirement, what are the lacunae, what are the issues which you are facing, and in the future recruitment process, what changes can be done, and also the changes which we need to inculcate in the training process. So what we need is a collaborative solution. First is the joint curriculum reviews. We need both, not just the academic experts, but also the industry experts in framing the curriculum for the students, especially in the higher education sector. Next is the apprentice models. That is, the industry should offer paid internships for the students so that it bridges the skilling gap for the students in one side. On the other hand, it also helpful for the industries because you are getting in the future a job ready or students who are having a practical knowledge about the new technologies or the working of the industries. Another aspect is the outcome tracking. The placement cells should not just restrict with regard to the placing of the students. It should not end. Rather, they should track the alumni of for what for say 1 year or two to check how they are progressing in their work, so that they are able to gauge their programs, training programs, and the employability aspect of it, whether it is really useful or really improve the employability aspect of the students. Another aspect is really regional partnerships. So the employability issue is not uniform across the country. For example, you can generally colleges are classified as tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 colleges. The issues of employability in Tier 1 colleges will be different than Tier 2 colleges. For examples, in colleges placed in a remote location, there can be a issue of soft skill with regard to the language, communication skills with regard to language. So we need, and also there will be the issues with regard to the industries available nearby the colleges, which can give workshops, which can conduct workshops, which can give internship opportunities. So the local internships, local industries can tie up with the local colleges to provide such workshops. Next is a micro credential. So the industries can offer micro certifications. For example, suppose the AI is now inculcated in the curriculum. Now a particular industry has come up with a new AI tool. So students in a way are learning updated curriculum of AI, but now there is a lacking of this new AI tool. So this particular industry can give a micro certification regarding using of this AI tool. So this will be both helpful for our students, the academics, and the industries. And also, an important aspect is about the soft skill lab. This is very important. So one aspect is the technical knowledge of the students, which will be helpful in their career. Second is the soft skills, which is in a way sometimes, many and times, more important than the technical knowledge. So the students should be inculcated and trained, and also they need to increase their skills such as communication skills, leadership skills, your problem solving skills, their adaptability. In this, also you can have a approach of both academics and the industry experts. One way the academics can teach it. Second is the industry experts, the leaders in the certain industry. They can come and they can give the real life examples about these things, which will be more valuable to the students, and they can get more connected with it. So having seen this, we will see a mains practice question with regard to this topic. So the question is, India's graduate employability crisis reflects a deep disconnect between higher education and the demands of dynamic labor market. Critically examine the major causes of this academia industry gap and suggest measures to create a sustainable and future ready workforce. So there are two aspects. First is they are asking to critically examine the major causes. Second is to suggest measures. So you can give an introduction stating about the employability crisis. You can mention about the fact that only 46% of India's graduates are employable. Then you can directly jump into the main demand of the question. You can mention the main causes as we discussed in previous slides. For example, you can talk that it's not just about higher education, but it starts from the school education itself. For example, rote learning. This is one. Second is you can talk about the infrastructure gaps. You can talk about faculty issues, the issue of ghost faculties, the issue that the faculties in government colleges are not regular. These aspects you can talk about. You can also talk about the digital illiteracy. You can talk about the skill gaps which are still persistent. These are some of the causes. Then you can directly mention as a subheading about the suggestive measures which you can be taken. So you can better arrangement of the answer is better structure of the answer is you can group the measures as two. One is the academic aspect, second is the industry aspect. From the academic point of view, you can talk about updation of curriculum. You can talk about sabbatical skilling of the professors is a new with the new technologies. These are the few examples. Or also you can talk about managing the infrastructure, like we're giving a setting up of new updated labs. These are the points you can mention from the academic side. From the industry side, you can talk about giving paid internships, creating that contact with the colleges or universities in designing the curriculum. These are the examples you can give. Then you can end it with a optimistic or a positive note. Always ensure that you end the answer in the optimistic way. So that's it for this topic. We'll move on to the next topic. In this article, we'll see about the regulatory scrutiny of ethanol. So it's news because ethanol is under review by the European Chemicals Agency for possible classification as a carcinogen. That is, it can increase the risk of cancer and reprotoxic substance. that is, it can affect the fertility. So the final decision is to be taken by the European Commission after evaluation by the Risk Assessment Committee and the Biocidal Products Committee. So we will see about ethanol. So ethanol is also called as ethyl alcohol or simply alcohol. It's an organic compound with the chemical formula of CH2OH. So this is the OH group. This is the structure of ethanol. This can be asked as a question in under science and technology in prelims. And it's a key ingredient in the alcohol-based hand rubs used globally to prevent infections. So many of us would have used hand sanitizer during the COVID period, and the key component is ethanol in it, and it's proven to reduce the hospital-acquired infections by nearly 50%. So this hospital-acquired infections is a very important one. It means that a person is getting admitted for some other treatment, is getting infected with some other disease or infection just because he is admitted to a particular hospital. It can be due to because of the hospital environment or any nearby infected person or the infected staff. So we will see about the burden of infections, that is the hospital acquired infections. So 1 in 10 hospital patients globally acquire an infection during care. So nearly 5 million deaths are linked with the antimicrobial resistance annually. So this antimicrobial resistance is also a very important point. Can be asked in both prelims as well as mains. These alcohol based hand rubs are vital. They are fast acting, water free, and do not cause resistance. So what are the alternatives to ethanol? So it includes the chlorhexidine, benzalkonium chloride, and pyridine iodine. Sorry for my pronunciation. So these agents are slower, less effective against certain viruses or associated with skin irritation and reduced compliance among healthcare workers, leading to higher infection rates and mortality. So this actually shows why the ethanol based hand rubs are very, very important, especially in the healthcare. So other uses of ethanol. So they are used in pharmaceuticals, vaccines, diagnostics, cleaning agents, and food processing. They are also widely used in perfume manufacturing, which enables a fragrance evaporation and dispersion. So the deodorants which we mainly use, they also contains the ethanol. The ethanol evaporates fastly. The classification as hazardous could disrupt the multiple sectors, affecting consumer confidence and exports. For example, if ethanol is classified as hazardous substance, generally the other nations will also follow the EU's European standard. So people will lose confidence on the products such as the deodorants itself. So this will also affect the other items as well. So we'll see the global regulatory perspective. The World Health Organization and the US FDA endorses ethanol-based hand sanitizer rubs as safe and effective. And there is no restrictions in India, Australia, Canada, or West Asia. The European review represents a departure from global scientific consensus. So we will see why, which the difference in approach. First one is the approach taken in Europe. It is a hazard-based approach which focuses on inherent chemical properties rather than use. Based on the chemical properties, whole chemical property itself, they will be classified as hazardous. For certain examples, you can mention like during the COVID itself, people who were addicted to drinking alcohol. They since there was lockdown and the drinks were not available, they drank the hand sanitizer itself, and some of them were killed because of it. Next is a global health body such as WHO and all. They go for risk-based assessment. This is different from the hazard-based. It considers the exposure level, real-world use, and benefits. For example, in ethanol, in hand hygiene, it has negligible absorption as it evaporates quickly and has proven no harm in decades of use. Another examples you can say is chlorine. Chlorine in concentrated use is actually corrosive and toxic, but in diluted use, it's used to disinfect water. Another example for risk-based approach you can say as is the X-ray machines used in healthcare. The X-rays are ionizing and they can even damage the DNAs. but still they are used because they are used in a controlled environment and the exposure time is very low, and the benefits are far greater than the harm they cause. So that is why, in a way, you can say that we should take a risk-based approach rather than the hazard-based approach. So what is the way ahead? The regulatory decision must balance safety, evidence, and global health priorities. And restricting ethanol on a theoretical grounds risk undermining one of the world's most effective infection control tools at a critical time for global health. So we are saying possible there is a possible that people are in a way predicting that COVID-like viruses may emerge anytime and all in the future. So it the certain similar junctions, if you are restricting its use, it may prove deadly. So that's it for this topic. We'll see a prelims question regarding to it. So with reference to ethanol and its uses, consider the following statements. So the first statement is ethanol acts as a rapid disinfectant against bacteria, fungi, and viruses, and is widely used as an alcohol-based hand rubs for the infection control. Yes, this is correct. The World Health Organization recognizes ethanol-based hand sanitizer as a safe and effective. Yes, this is also correct. In India, ethanol is also used as a biofuel and is blended with petrol under the ethanol blender program. Yes, this is also correct. Yes, ethanol blender program is very important. Now we are having a target of 20% ethanol blending, and there are also do study deeply about it. There are also like different generations of ethanol production. Do check it. Do check about it. So they are asking the correct statement. So the answer will be option D 1, 2, and 3. So that's it for this topic. We'll move on to the next topic. In this article, we'll be seeing about carbon footprint. So we'll first see its definition. The carbon footprint is the total amount of greenhouse gases, primarily the carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide emitted directly or indirectly by human activities, expressed in terms of carbon dioxide equivalent. So things to remember is the total amount of greenhouse gases, not just limited to carbon dioxide. It also includes like methane, nitrous oxide, and includes both direct and indirect emissions, and is expressed in terms of carbon dioxide equivalent. So there are two types of carbon footprints. First is the primary one. It is the direct emissions from energy consumption, that is vehicles, by driving, etc. For example, the electricity direct consumption by households. These are the examples of direct emissions, and these emissions can be reduced by individuals itself. For example, instead of going by car, you can say instead of 10 people going by 10 different cars, they can go by carpooling initiatives or using public transports. So this direct emissions or the primary footprint can be reduced directly. Second is the secondary footprints. It is the indirect emissions from the life cycle products. For example, I'm using a phone, so there must be carbon consumption, there will be carbon footprint related to manufacturing itself. Next is that I ordered it from an online platform. So for its for its delivery from a manufacturer to my home, there's also transportations involved. For that also there have been carbon dioxide equivalent emissions. Then I will be using it and throwing it. So for that also we can say that till this end, for that also there is carbon emission, even if it get recycled. So this is also we can relate it with lifestyle for environment initiative. So this is the indirect method. Sorry, this is the indirect emission. So next is the measurement. So it's measured in tons of CO2 equivalent. So the tools used are the greenhouse gas protocol, carbon disclosure projects, and life cycle assessment. So what are the major sources? The first one is the energy sector. That is for production of electricity, consumes releases the largest amounts of carbon because of heating of fossil fuels. For example, in the thermal power plants, this is one of the highest carbon emitting sector. Second is the agriculture. So agriculture sector emits both methane and nitrous oxides. Third is the industrial process. So industrial process in a way consumes the electricity, major component. So in that way also it's consuming taking carbon. Second is during the manufacturing process itself, it will release many CO2 equivalent, or greenhouse gases. For example, in production of fertilizers, in production of refrigerants, etc. Then in the waste management, under the waste management, you can see, for examples, in the landfills where the wastes are accumulated, methane is released when there is anaerobic decomposition of the organic matter. So here the anaerobic means due to the absence of oxygen. So one key thing to know is the difference between aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic means presence of oxygen. Anaerobic means absence of oxygen. Next is the deforestation. Trees and plants are the carbon sinks. That is, they capture the carbon. So when they are cut down for any purposes, the carbon sinks are getting destroyed. So again, there is an emission of, in a way, you can say that carbon dioxide is still in the atmosphere. It's not getting trapped. So the India's context. So India's per capita CO2 emission is about 2 trillion tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, and which is below the global average of 4.5 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. The important pointer, which can be asked in prelims as well as you can even quote it in mains. However, India is the third largest emitter of India is the third largest emitter due to its population. So the first one is China, second is United States, third is India, fourth is the EU. This is the ranking as per the latest report. Previously, third position was EU and fourth was India. So the rankings might change. So do check about the rankings before you go to the exam. So, and with this, as also previously I forgot to mention. So how is measured is in terms of CO2 equivalent. So there are other gases, for example, methane and nitrous oxide. So how they are measured is they will be converted into equivalent of carbon dioxide. So here comes the concept of global warming potential. That is very, very important. Please check what do you mean by it. So we'll move on. So we'll see the key national initiatives with regard to it. First is the National Hydrogen Mission. So we have a main aim of producing 5 million tons of green hydrogen by 2030. It will help to decarbonize the sectors such as fertilizers, transport, etc. And next is the Lifestyle for Environment Initiative. That's an important one. It focuses on behavioral changes on individual and community in individual and community setup, and it aims to go for a circular economy instead of the use and throw behaviors. Third is the carbon credit trading scheme. Here the entities can earn carbon credits for their carbon reduction projects or initiatives taken, and these carbon credits can be traded domestically. It will actually create a domestic market for carbon trading. So these carbon credits can be traded domestically with the other entities, so that the other entities can achieve their targets, either voluntary or mandatory targets of reducing the carbon. So that's it for this topic. So you can be asked a question with regard to carbon credits directly as a prelims or even as a mains. So we'll see a prelims question with regard to it. The question is, with reference to the concept of carbon footprint, consider the following statements. So it refers to the amount of carbon dioxide released directly from the burning of fossil fuels. It refers only to the amount of carbon dioxide. Sorry, I missed the word initially. So this is incorrect. It includes both direct and indirect greenhouse gas emissions expressed as carbon dioxide equivalent. Yes, this is correct. Reducing the carbon footprint contributes to climate change mitigation. Yes, this is correct. So they are asked incorrect statements. Be careful with it. So the answer will be option A, one only. Yes, previously I made a mistake. It's not just related to carbon credits, and with regard to carbon footprint also, you can be asked questions with both mains as well as prelims. First is the definition. They might ask how it is, for example, measured like it's measured in terms of carbon dioxide equivalent. These are the ways in which questions can be asked in prelims. In mains, they can be asked which contributes to carbon footprint. They can be asked so that when we write an answer, we can give a better answer by creating two separate subheadings like direct and indirect ways. Next is how we can government initiative with regard to it. So these are the ways in which the questions can be asked in mains. So that's it for this topic. We'll move on to the next topic. In this article, we'll be seeing about the AI awareness survey. So according to a Pew survey covering 25 countries, Indians have the lowest awareness about artificial intelligence. So the survey found that about 14% of Indians have heard or of read a lot about AI, and another 32% have read a little about it. Together, this share of, that is 46%, is the lowest among the countries surveyed. So this is actually a major concern. So we will see some charts regarding it. So this chart represents the country-wide share of respondents who said they have heard or read a lot or a little about AI. So India, it's about 46. So if we compare with other countries like Germany and US, they are above 90. So chart 2 represents the country-wide share of respondents aged between 18 to 34 who said they have heard or read a lot about AI. So it's very important, the age bracket 18 to 34. So India is only 19. So also one of the major issues. So this is in a way you can link it with the demographic dividend. So you should know what do you mean by demographic dividend. That's the first thing. So third chart, it represents the country-wise share of respondents who said increased use of AI in daily life makes them feel more concerned than excited. So in India, only it's 19%. They feel only 19% feel concerned, but in US, UK and all, you see it's about 50. About 40 to 50%. Then chart 4, it represents the country-wise share respondents who have some or a lot of faith in their country to regulate the use of AI effectively. Here, India scores about 89. That is about 90% of people feel that they have the faith in the country to regulate the use of AI. So this is the chart. These are the charts. So this is another graph. So this represents the GDP per capita and share of respondents who said that they have heard or read a lot about AI against their country's GDP per capita. So what India is here, and here you have Sweden, France, Japan, US, Netherlands, Australia. So what is can be seen from the graph is that wealthier countries tend to have a higher share of people who have read or who have heard a lot about AI, and about half of adults in Japan, Germany, and France and the US said they have heard a lot about AI, compared to only 14% in India and 12% in Kenya. That is, wealthier people, percentage of people who have heard a lot about AI is high compared to the less wealthy countries. So having seen these data points, the main thing to know is that the key implications of it. What can be implied from the data points? First one is a digital divide and unequal access. So this very less people, only 46% of people in India have heard about AI represents is because mainly because of digital illiteracy. So this will result in less people's participation in the AI-driven market for the future. This is one of the issue. Second is the skill deficit in emerging technologies. We saw in the previous chart that is between aged 13 to 18 to 34, only 19% of people have heard about AI. So this is the young population of India. They are supposed in the future AI job market will be mainly based on AI. I mean AI based job market will be highly in demand. So it only 19% of people between 18 and 34 know about AI, shows that there is a skilling gap and also an awareness gap. It also shows that the young population is not job or skill prepared for the future jobs which are going to emerge. Third is the complacency towards ethical and privacy risk. In this chart, it shows that only 19% of people are concerned about AI, that is in India. That is, people are not aware about the issues or limitations of AI, the issues related to data privacy with regard to AI, the ethical aspects of AI, how it can be used. So people in a way are less aware or ignorant about these issues. Next is the overconfidence in regulation. So we saw that in India there is about 90% of people who have faith in a country that they will be regulating the AI. So here the awareness is low. but the faith is high. So in a way, you have blind faith on the government for the regulation. So this will also reduce the public scrutiny of the AI related policies of the government. Another aspect is the economic and innovation consequences. So what is saying that the nation in which there are more percentage of population who are aware of AI, they lead in the innovations related to AI. For example, Japan, US, etc. Whereas low percentage of people having knowledge of AI may possibly result in less domestic innovations related to AI. So this is the one of the major concern, and this will also possibly reduce India's competitiveness in the AI market. So what is needed is a need for public education and inclusion. First thing is needed is AI literacy programs among the various age groups, including children, the youth, the working population. Next is the applications of also the people need to know about the applications of AI, the concerns or issues related to AI, the ethical aspects of AI, the issues related to the data protections, etc. And these need to be also integrated with the school education curriculum or the college education curriculums. Next is a policy and governance challenge. So in a way, we can say that this low awareness coupled with high confidence in the government regulation, in a way shows that there is a governance deficit. So the policy must not just be top down, but what we need is participative and a transparent governance. So we need a high capacity building. Governments must invest on capacity building of the citizens on into the awareness of AI and its related aspects. So with regard to AI, you can expect questions in mains, especially in actually in all the three. You can expect questions in GS2, GS3, and GS4. In all these three papers, you can expect questions. And in prelims also, you can get direct questions with regard to AI. For example, there are related terms with AI, neural networks, machine learning, deep learning, etc. So you can get the definition of it or like match the following questions, or other things with relate to AI like data protection laws. You can have questions with them also. So we'll see a prelims practice question with regard to AI. So the question is, with reference to artificial intelligence, consider the following statement. So the first statement is, artificial intelligence refers to systems that can perform tasks requiring human intelligence such as learning, reasoning, and problem solving. Yes, this is correct. Machine learning and deep learning are subsets of AI. Yes, this is correct. In India, AI for All initiative has been launched to promote AI awareness and literacy among citizens. Yes, this is also correct. So they are asking the correct statements. So the answer will be option D, 1, 2, and 3 only. So that's it for this topic. We'll move on to the next topic. Now we'll see the topics under the prelims focus. The first one is the Defense Procurement Manual of 2025. It's released by the Ministry of Defense and is effective from November 1st of 2025. Its aim is to facilitate the revenue procurement amounting to approximately 1 lakh crore by the three services and other establishments under the Ministry of Defense. Important thing is revenue procurement, and the amount is approximately 1 lakh crore. So the next one is the 14th India-Bhutan Border Management and Security Meeting. It's held in Thimphu. Last meeting was held in 2019 and reviewed the bilateral security cooperation and border management issues, including mobile signal spillover, future roadmap for integrated checkpost, maintenance of boundary pillars, and cross-border movement. The significance is that it reaffirms their strong friendship. That is, India and Bhutan are committed to deepening cooperation across traditional and emerging areas. So next one is the AI for India 2030 initiative. It's launched in the 2024 by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. It's a collaboration with NASSCOM and the World Economic Forum's Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution in India. Its aim is to develop frameworks with strategic and global relevance, placing responsible and inclusive and scale-driven AI at the heart of India's digital economy. So with this, we need to know about the fourth industrial revolution. That's an important one. Please check about it. Next is the deaths by cold wave. So report titled Accidental Deaths and Suicides in India. It is released by the National Crime Records Bureau, and it highlights that between 2019 and 2023, the Commission noted that a total of 3,639 people reportedly died from exposure to cold waves in the country. So NCRB is an important topic with regard to both prelims as well as mains. And also these deaths, that is deaths by cold waves, can be easily preventable. So that's also is important. Next is the guidelines to mitigate the impacts of cold waves. So the National Human Rights Commission India urges 19 states and 4 UT administrations to take preventive measures. Its aim is to protect homeless and vulnerable people from cold waves during the winter. And NHRC reiterated the National Disaster Management Authority guidelines to mitigate the impacts of cold waves. So this NDMA is important for both prelims as well as mains, and it's also important for public administration students. So the guidelines include establishing treatment protocols, setting up of day and night shelters, providing medical care and implementing standard treatment procedures for cold-related illness, ensuring consistent monitoring of the relief efforts, and adopting a proactive approach to ensure their effectiveness. So these are the points which you can use when they ask question related to cold waves in mains. So we'll see a prelims practice question. The question is, with reference to the National Disaster Management Authority, consider the following statements. It was established under the Disaster Management Act of 2005. Yes, this is correct. The Prime Minister of India is the ex officio chairperson of the NDMA. Yes, this is also correct. It is responsible for formulating policies, plans, and guidelines for disaster management to ensure a holistic and coordinated response across the country. Yes, this is also correct. The NDMA functions under the Ministry of Home Affairs. Yes, this is also correct. They are asked to find the correct statements. So the answer will be all 4 are correct. That is option C. That's it for today's discussion. If you find the video helpful, please like the video and give your valuable feedback. And do subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Have a great day.